Don't play games with survival. Build your runway first, then bet boldly. Stop scrolling for just 10 seconds, because what I'm about to tell you could be the difference between staying stuck in your 9-to-5 for the next 30 years or walking away from it in the next 6 months. Sounds impossible? That's what I thought too, until I studied the same blueprint followed by one of the smartest investors alive today, Mohnish Pabrai. But here's the shocking part. If you don't learn this now, you might lock yourself into a lifetime of financial slavery without even realizing it. Let me be clear, this is not about gambling with crypto. It's not about day trading your way to freedom. And it's definitely not about some overnight get-rich scheme. This is about a proven system for creating financial escape velocity. A system that's worked for decades and, if you understand it, can work faster than you think. So here's my warning. The clock is ticking. If you keep doing what 97% of employees do, you will never break free from your paycheck trap. But if you stay with me for the next few minutes, I'll show you why the odds are stacked against you and how to flip them in your favor using one simple concept that Warren Buffett swears by and Mohnish Pabrai mastered. And before you think, that's only for billionaires, no. This works even if you're starting with zero savings and you hate math. Ready? Because what I'm about to reveal could be the most important financial decision of your life. But here's the kicker. You're only one wrong assumption away from ruining your chance at freedom forever. And trust me, almost everyone makes this mistake. I'll tell you what it is, but first, let me ask you something. How long do you think you could survive without your job? A week? A month? 6 months? Drop your answer in the comments right now, because what you're about to hear will make you question everything you've been told about money. Let me ask you something straight up. If you could fast forward your life 6 months from now and see yourself either sitting in the same office chair under the same fluorescent lights or walking out of bed knowing your time belongs to you, which version would you want to wake up to? And here's the real kicker. Your answer is going to show in the comments right now. Why? Because if you can't even commit to typing one single word publicly, you'll never commit to building freedom privately. And here's why this matters more than you think. The people who engage, who declare their intention, are the ones who actually follow through. That's not my opinion, that's psychology. Public commitment creates accountability. When you say it out loud, or even type it, you're burning the bridge behind you. Look, I don't care how successful you want to be. If you're not willing to take a 2-second action in the comments, what are the odds you'll take the 2-year action in real life? Slim to none. So prove yourself right now. And I'll tell you something else. This isn't just you and me. Look at the comments. You're going to see people from all over the world typing freedom right now. That's your tribe. That's your digital accountability circle. These are people who are done being slaves to a paycheck and ready to rewrite the script. And that matters, because freedom is lonely if you try to chase it by yourself. But when you know there are others taking the same journey, you move faster, you push harder, and you actually finish. So your first move is typing the word. It's not symbolic, it's strategic. Now, I've got to pause here and say something important. If you're listening to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This is not entertainment. This is a roadmap, and the only cost of admission is clicking a button. When you subscribe, you're basically saying, I want the shortcut. I want access to the strategies that billionaires like Warren Buffett and Mohnish Pabrai use, but explained in a way I can actually apply. And here's the truth. If you're trying to leave your job in 6 months or less, you cannot afford to miss even one of these episodes. Because missing one video might mean missing the exact strategy that could cut 2 years off your escape plan. So hit subscribe right now. That's the fastest investment you'll ever make in yourself, and it costs nothing. Here's the thing about freedom. Most people don't lose it in one big catastrophic moment. They lose it drip by drip, paycheck by paycheck, meeting by meeting, until 10 years vanish and they wake up wondering where their life went. Don't be that person. Don't be the one binge-watching financial freedom videos while nothing changes. This is your checkpoint. Either you engage now, or you drift for another decade. And let me give you a little warning. This video is going to reveal one fatal mistake that keeps 97% of people stuck in the 9-to-5 cycle forever. You don't want to miss that moment. And if you click away before we get there, you'll never hear it, and you'll risk repeating it. So here's what I'm saying. Comment now, subscribe now, and commit to staying with me till the end, because the one insight I'll share could literally save you years of wasted effort. I'll be real with you. There are only two kinds of people watching right now. Group 1, they'll sit back, nod their head, and scroll on to the next video. Group 2, they'll engage, they'll subscribe, they'll lean in with curiosity, and in 6 months, they'll be the ones sending me messages saying, "I did it. I quit." Which group are you in? Type it in the comments. Ready or not ready? Don't lie to yourself. All right, so now that you've made your choice, and I hope you actually did, I'm about to show you why the next 6 months are unlike any other period in your life. The window of opportunity is small, the countdown is already ticking, and if you miss it, you'll regret it for years. I'll explain what I mean in just a moment, but before that, let me plant this seed in your mind. The people who succeed in escaping the 9-to-5 aren't the smartest, the luckiest, or even the most confident. They're the ones who recognize leverage at the exact right time. What do I mean by leverage? Keep watching. You're about to find out. The clock is already running. 6 months from today, one of two things will be true. You'll still be sitting in the same traffic, staring at the same office walls, answering the same boss's emails, or you'll be standing at the edge of a completely new life. Your own schedule, your own decisions, your own income streams. And the shocking thing is, that decision is being made right now. Not in 6 months, not next year, but today. Here's the truth no one tells you. The 9-to-5 trap isn't one big cage you suddenly notice. It's a slow, invisible countdown. Every day you trade time for a paycheck, you're surrendering a little more control. Every raise feels like a reward, but it's actually a stronger lock on the prison door. And by the time most people realize what happened, they're too deep inside to climb out. That's why the average person retires at 65 with less than $100,000 to their name. Decades gone, freedom gone, dreams gone. But here's why this message matters now. We're living in a moment of massive shift. Technology, AI, and global competition are rewriting the rules of work faster than anyone can adapt. Millions of jobs are being automated, outsourced, or replaced. And guess who gets hit first? The employees who thought they were safe. You might think your job is secure until the next quarterly report proves otherwise. And when that day comes, it won't be a warning. It'll be instant. A meeting, a layoff, a goodbye email. That's the reality of the system. Now let's flip the lens. If you take the next 6 months seriously, if you treat them like your personal countdown, you can break free before the system swallows you. 6 months is not some random number. It's enough time to build a side stream of income, master the basics of leverage that billionaires obsess over, replace your paycheck with something scalable. But only if you start now. Wait 6 more months, and you'll just be 6 months older, with less energy and fewer chances left. So let me ask you this. If the countdown is already started, and the walls of the 9-to-5 system are closing in, how long are you willing to gamble with your future? Because I'll tell you this, in 6 months, you'll either look back on this moment as the turning point, or as the day you ignored the warning that could have saved you. And here's where it gets interesting. Because the people who make it out aren't necessarily the smartest, the richest, or even the most confident. They're the ones who discover a specific kind of leverage, the exact leverage Mohnish Pabrai studied from Warren Buffett, the kind that allows you to turn small, simple moves into exponential freedom. And in a second, I'll show you what that leverage looks like in real life. But before that, Let me take you into two stories. Two characters who both had the same choice, but ended up in completely opposite futures. One chose the safe path and lost everything. The other chose the bold path and bought freedom in record time. You'll see yourself in both. The only question is, which ending will you pick? Now, before I show you the exact blueprint to escape the 9-to-5 in just 6 months, let me warn you. What you're about to hear is not common advice. It's not the usual save 10% or ask your boss for a raise. Those rules were designed to keep you stuck, not free you. The blueprint I'm about to share comes from studying how the wealthiest thinkers in the world, people like Warren Buffett and Mohnish Pabrai, silently escaped the treadmill and never looked back. But here's the catch. The real secret isn't obvious.
In fact, when you first hear it, you might think it sounds too simple. And that's exactly why most people miss it. They keep searching for complexity while the door to freedom is sitting wide open. So here's what's coming. First, I'll reveal the single form of leverage that can replace 40 years of 9-to-5 work in less than 6 months. Second, you'll meet two people who face the same choice. One who ignored the countdown and ended up trapped for life, and one who made a bold pivot and bought freedom faster than they ever imagined. And third, I'll walk you through the step-by-step playbook I've distilled from Mohnish Pabrai's biggest lessons, so you don't just quit your job, you stay free forever. But before we get there, you need to understand this. If you skip even one of these, the entire blueprint collapses. Now I know what you're thinking. 6 months? That sounds impossible. And you're right. To the average employee, it is impossible. But that's because employees are trained to think like workers, not like owners. What I'm about to share will flip that thinking on its head. Because once you see what leverage actually looks like, you'll never be able to see your paycheck the same way again. Mohnish himself admitted the cost of missing one decision can be in the billions. Imagine missing your decision that could be worth millions of dollars in lifetime freedom. And in a minute, I'll show you how one decision, the choice to hold or sell, cost him $1 billion upside. Why does that matter to you? Because that same psychology is what traps employees in the 9-to-5. They sell their freedom too early and never get it back. Here's the real danger. Most of you watching this are already in the middle of making the mistake that will cost you freedom. You just don't know it yet. You're sitting in the chair, working the hours, thinking it's temporary, but it's actually the trap setting itself. And the only way out is to see it before it locks shut. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you without giving you the tools. I'm going to hand you the exact blueprint broken into steps you can execute this week, this month, and over the next 6 months. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build your escape hatch brick by brick. But more importantly, you'll feel it. You'll see yourself stepping into that new identity one decision at a time. So the question isn't, can it be done? The question is, will you be the one who finally does it? Because in just a moment, you'll see the two characters who prove this point beyond any doubt. Same opportunity, same timeline. Two endings. One lost everything, the other gained freedom forever. And when you hear their stories, you'll know exactly which one you've been living. Ready? Let's dive in. Okay, let's get practical. Let's break down the first steps of your escape plan. If you follow these steps for just 6 months, you'll be shocked at how fast the 9-to-5 walls start to crack. Step 1. Rewire how you see risk. The first shift is mental. Most employees think safety means a paycheck. But Mohnish Pabrai warns us, the biggest mistakes aren't the ones where you lose money, they're the ones where you miss opportunities. So here's the rule. Stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I never try? Every day you stay locked in the 9-to-5, the real risk is compounding against you, just like debt. Over the next 7 days, I want you to journal one question. If I don't change now, what's the real cost 5 years from today? Put it on paper. Let your brain see the trap. And we'll expose how this same mistake cost Mohnish over $1 billion upside. Step 2. Circle the wagons around your time. The second step is to reclaim the asset that matters more than money, your hours. Mohnish often says, you only know a business after you own it. The same is true for freedom. You'll only know it after you create it. So this week, track every hour of your day like a business does inventory. At the end of the week, circle the wasted hours and lock them down. Those are the hours you're going to redirect into your escape project. Because here's the truth. If you can't manage your time like an owner, you'll always live like an employee. Step 3. Build leverage, not labor. This is where the magic starts. Employees sell time. Owners build leverage. And leverage comes in 3 forms. 1. Capital working for you. 2. Content or code that scales without your effort. And 3. People or systems that multiply what you do. Pick one. Don't overcomplicate it. If you're broke, start with content. If you have savings, start with capital. If you have a skill, build a system. And here's the kicker. Pabrai himself said the best businesses he ever owned weren't obvious up front. They became obvious only after he held them long enough. That means your escape vehicle doesn't have to be perfect on day one. It just has to exist. You'll refine it as you go. And in a minute, I'll show you the exact leverage that can replace 40 years of 9-to-5 work in less than 6 months. Step 4. Create a 6-month runway. Finally, you need breathing room. The worst enemy of freedom is desperation. Employees stay stuck because they can't survive even 30 days without a paycheck. So here's your assignment. Cut unnecessary expenses for 90 days straight. Pretend you're already fired. Every dollar you save extends your freedom runway. And when you know you can survive without the job, you suddenly have power you never had before. Mohnish's golden rule: don't play games with survival. Build your runway first, then bet boldly. Now, notice something. I haven't even revealed the core blueprint yet. These are just your foundations. If you do these 4 steps for the next 30 days, you'll already feel the chains loosening. But here's the part no one tells you. Freedom doesn't come from steps alone. It comes from one decision. And in a moment, I'll show you how 2 people faced that decision. One escaped in 6 months, the other stayed trapped for life. When you hear their stories, you'll know exactly which path you're on and which one you must take if you want to make it out. Let me show you 2 paths. Same world, same opportunities, but radically different endings. The first is Mohnish Pabrai. Back in 2012, he invested in Fiat Chrysler. Everyone thought it was a beaten-down company crawling out of bankruptcy. But inside that company sat a hidden gem, Ferrari. For just $5 billion, you could buy the entire business. Mohnish saw it, took the shot, and for a time, he owned nearly 1% of Ferrari. Imagine that. 1% of the world's most iconic luxury brand for pennies on the dollar. He turned that bet into hundreds of millions of dollars. But here's the painful part. He sold too early. Had he simply held on, that stake would be worth $1 billion more today. His biggest regret wasn't the zeros he lost, it was the upside he cut off by letting go too soon. Lesson: freedom isn't about avoiding failure. It's about holding on long enough to let compounding do its work. Now, let's contrast that with someone you probably know, maybe too well. Let's call him Daniel. Daniel's 35. He's been working the same job for over a decade. Reliable paycheck, decent benefits, safe routine. But here's the truth. Every year he hesitates to build something of his own, he's selling his Ferrari moment for scraps. While Mohnish's upside mistake cost him $1 billion, Daniel's mistake is costing him his entire life. He's missing his daughter's childhood, his health is eroding from stress, and deep down, he knows he'll wake up at 60 realizing he sold 40 years for nothing more than survival. Daniel's tragedy isn't failure, it's omission. The opportunities he never touched, the businesses he never tried, the compounding he never allowed to work for him. And here's the scary part. Most of you listening right now are living Daniel's story. Trapped, rationalizing, waiting for the perfect time. But there is no perfect time. There's only compounding you catch or compounding you forfeit. Pause for a second. Let me ask you something deeply uncomfortable. Are you Daniel right now? Are you waking up every day to an alarm you didn't choose, working for goals that aren't yours, and putting your life on layaway, hoping someday you'll finally live? Be honest, because here's the truth. If you don't answer that question today, life will answer it for you in 20 years when it's too late to pivot. Now, I want to know, drop it in the comments right now. Do you feel ready to take that leap in the next 6 months, or do you feel stuck like Daniel? Say it, write it, because when you say it out loud, when you type it, you take back control. You stop hiding from your reality, and you might just inspire someone else in this community to admit where they're at too. Look, thousands of people will watch this same video, and some of them will act. 6 months from now, some will be free, and some will be exactly where they are right now. Which side will you be on? Imagine looking back 6 months from today, seeing your own comment here, and realizing you either kept your word or broke it. That's the power of declaring where you stand. This channel isn't for dabblers. It's for people who are tired of living someone else's plan. So if that's you, hit subscribe right now, because what you'll find here isn't theory. It's a blueprint. A tribe of people building freedom
together. So, ready or not? Write it below. And remember, staying silent is a choice too, but silence always sides with Daniel. Here's the truth Mohnish Pabrai discovered, and it's the reason Warren Buffett built Berkshire Hathaway into a trillion-dollar empire. You don't need hundreds of wins. You don't need to be right all the time. You only need a few. Just 3 to 4% of your decisions in life will shape your entire financial future. Think about that. Out of 100 moves, 3 will change your life forever. And the real secret? Not finding them, but never selling them. That's what Pabrai calls circling the wagons, protecting your crown jewels, the rare investments, the rare bets that could be your ticket to freedom. But here's the flip side, and this is where most people fail. You see, Pabrai admits his biggest losses weren't the times he went to zero. No, the biggest regrets were the times he sold too early, the times he had Ferrari in his hands and let it slip away. That single decision cost him $1 billion. Now, what are the Ferraris you're sitting on? The skills, the opportunities, the business ideas, the networks you already have, but you're selling short because of fear, distraction, or the illusion of job security. This is why quitting your 9-to-5 in 6 months isn't about reckless jumps. It's about spotting your crown jewels and circling the wagons around them. If you can identify just 1 or 2 bits that multiply your time and income, and then protect them with focus, discipline, and patience, you'll be shocked at how fast compounding takes over. 6 months from now, you'll either still be trading time for a paycheck, or you'll be nurturing the crown jewel that sets you free. So here's the hard truth. Most people watching this right now won't make it. They'll keep dabbling, keep selling early, and keep waiting for the perfect moment. But a few, the 3 to 4% who decide today to circle their wagons, will change everything. The question is, will you be in that 3%? Here's what you need to understand. This video is not entertainment. It's not just another podcast clip. This is your preparation manual. Because 6 months from now, one of 2 things will happen. You either look back and realize this was the day you started building your exit plan, or you'll still be stuck in the same office chair waiting for someone else to decide your future. But I want to make you a promise. If you're serious, if you're ready to circle your wagons around your crown jewels, then this channel is the place where you'll find every tool, every strategy, and every shortcut you need to accelerate your escape. That's why I'm asking you right now, don't just watch and leave. That's what the 97% do. The 97% who keep drifting, keep wishing, and keep selling their Ferrari opportunities before they bloom. But you're still here. That means you're different, you're hungry, you're ready. So here's your move. Hit subscribe, join this tribe, and lock arms with the small minority who are building financial freedom the fast way, not the slow, decades-long grind they sold us in school. Because the next 6 months will pass whether you act or not. The only question is, when that time is gone, will you still be working for someone else's dream, or will you be living your own? Subscribe, dive into the playlist linked here, and let's start building your escape plan together. Not tomorrow, not someday, now.